Hi there, my beautiful beings. How are you today? How are you feeling? So as promised, I was going to bring up something in this video, and that is that it's not your job to fix others. It's not your job to change others. And this is what we're going to play with in this gorgeous video. We've talked about it before, but I find as I bring back topics, it's just like when, when people go through healing, they go through this healing stage. They want to look at the past trauma and they want to heal it. And they start that process. You'll find years later, stuff comes up. Like, when was it recently? A few months back, something came up about my mum. Last week, something came up about my mum again, but I'd already, a few months ago, something came up about my mum. And I was like, when am I ever going to be done with this mum thing? I've done all this forgiveness. I've done all this work. I'm done. I was like, done. When is this ever done? And the information that's come through is, one, everything is infinite. Therefore, healing is an infinite process. You will be here forever healing if that is what you're going to focus on. You could be doing that forever. It's never going to finish, right? Never. There's no end to it. My beautiful mother-in-law was the one that brought this forward. She said to me one day, but if everything is infinite, isn't that a bottomless pit as well? And I just sat there thinking, oh my God, the student has become the master, That's what I felt in that moment. It's like, what happened? But, it was one of those funny moments. She's never been my student. We've always learned everything the same, on the same level. But it just felt like, I always feel like I'm giving to her. And that moment was like, oh my God, I just got knocked on the forehead, with something that was so obvious. And it came from her. And anyway, so you'll be healing forever. But what happens is when you go through the process, things will keep coming up. And the reason for that is for you to look at it. Now that you've healed certain parts, you've evolved, it's for you to look at it with fresh eyes, with new eyes. You see different things. You see new things. It's like when we were talking about taking a photo, remember? You have all these beliefs that you can only take the photo, all these judgments. You can only take the photo front on. And then people like me come along and say, but what if you take the photo from over here? Or you take the photo from this angle? And what happens is when you take the subject that you're taking the photo of and you tilt the camera and suddenly you've got a side view of this subject. There's all these things that you couldn't see from the front. Because if I take a photo of myself front on, there's only this much. But if I take a photo of myself sideways, I'm going to get all of this side. That front on, I can't see. And so this is what happens with healing. The same events are going to keep coming up for us. And we get to see them through new eyes. We get to see new things that we couldn't see before. We get to see, it's like you see depth. You get a new depth of it. And the higher we evolve more and more into love and unconditional love. You get to see it more and more through the eyes of love, through the eyes of no judgments, through the eyes of no conditions, but love, So now we kind of go a little bit off topic with the healing thing, but that is what happens. It's like we're spiraling up and the same things will keep showing up for us. And as they show, you'll see another side of it, a different side of it that we couldn't see before. You couldn't see it. It's like climbing a mountain. When you're at the bottom of the mountain, what do you see? You see this huge mountain in front of you, but you can't even see the tip of it when you're at the bottom of the mountain. Half the time, you can't even see halfway up. All you can see is the flat land behind you, right? As you start to climb the mountain and you're halfway up, how much further can you see out to the lands, And suddenly you can start to see the tip of the mountain because you're halfway up. And when you get to the top of the mountain, look at the view. You can see everything from up here. And this is what spiritual evolution is. Getting to the top of that mountain and being able to see all of it, the whole picture, every single angle of the same event, of the same experience. being able to see all of it from your eyes, from their eyes, from Spirit's eyes, you know. So anyway, that's the healing part of it. But what wanted to come through at the end of the previous video is this, you know, so many of us carry the weight of the world on our shoulders because we think that it's our job to fix others. We feel it's our job to heal others. As healers, as empaths, so many of us feel that it's our job to heal others. It's our job. Somehow it's our responsibility because we have these beautiful gifts inside. This is what we tell ourselves. This is what the ego tells you, my beautiful being. But the truth is that we are all spirit, and each and every single one of us, without fail, has the ability to heal our own self, our own body. We all have the capacity to heal. We all have psychic gifts. We all have everything, infinite possibilities within us. All of us. But not all of us are tapped into it because we're here having this human experience. Now, what happens? Each soul, if you learn to see each person as a being that has a soul, and each soul, before it comes into this life, has already mapped out, this is what I want to do in this lifetime. It's already mapped it all out. It has the blueprints. It's holding on to it. It's like the architect, and it has the map, you know, the plans. It's already all planned out. The soul already knows before it comes in, this is what I want. And so it already chooses the parents that are going to, or the guardians that are going to give it that specific experience for the knowledge, the wisdom that it wishes to gain in this lifetime. So your soul is doing that. It has the plan for this lifetime. It already knows, it's mapped it out, what it wants to do. But just as your beautiful soul has done that for your life, so has your partner's soul, so have your children's soul, your parents' souls. Every single being has a soul, and every soul has its map of what it wants to do when it gets here. All of them. Now, this is the rub. You only have information to your path. You only have that information because this is your life. And yes, psychics can sometimes see parts of another person's life, but they don't get the whole map of another person's life because it's their map. The psychic has their own life. They have their own path. I like to call it path. And sometimes paths cross, but it's still your own path. And so because you do not have the full map, the full blueprint to that person's, to that soul's journey, how can you know what's the best thing for that person? How can you know what will fix them? What will heal them? What if that disease is there for a reason? That soul chose that. It wants to know, what does it feel like to be trapped in this body with this disease? What does that feel like? So, my beautiful beings, when you understand this, when you remember this, each being, each human being has a soul, and each soul has a path that has its map of what it wants to experience in this life. Then you can take a step back and go, oh, you know what? That's their journey. And it's not a disconnect like, oh, you know, that's your journey, go away. I don't want anything to do with you anymore. It's not that attitude either. You know, this thing about toxic people, oh, you know, oh dear. I see it all the time on Facebook, that, you know, with toxic people, that you cut them off, that you don't want to have anything to do with them anymore, and all this stuff, you know. And every time I read that, I feel into Jesus. I call him in, and he shows me, you know, not once did he ever turn away from a person, no matter what they were going through, no matter what they were saying, no matter what their energy was, because that is their path. That is what they chose for this lifetime. And so to call them toxic is already a judgment. It's not understanding that that soul is here and it's having its experience. Now, I understand what these people are talking about, because they say this is what this video is about. If you haven't cottoned on yet, it's learning to have compassion with detachment. Yes, I empathize. I understand that you feel this. I understand that you're going through this pain, this suffering, this loneliness, this whatever it is that this being is going through. But as empaths, especially as empaths, we seem to feel that we need to take that on. And somehow us taking it on takes it off them. If we take on their energy, it takes it off them and now they're free. But it doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. You can't take away from that person's journey, from their path, from their experience, if that is what they came to do here in this lifetime. All we can do is hold the space of love and to remember in every moment that that is spirit having a human experience. Spirit. That is God having a human experience. That is universal life force energy. The same energy that is in the trees, the same energy that is in the oceans, in the sun, in the stars, in the galaxies, is in that toxic person. Same as when we see others as our enemies. Know within your heart that those enemies are serving you in your experience. They are spirit. Same as that toxic person. They are serving you in your beautiful human experience. And the reason the empath feels drained is because we feel that it's our job to fix them. It's our job to heal them. We've put this responsibility on ourselves. All the while, you are telling that being that they don't have the power to do it themselves. You're not seeing them empowered as spirit in human form. They have the same abilities as you. They have the ability to heal. But that soul, for whatever reason, isn't tapping into that because that isn't part of that journey. Every soul, every being here on this planet is whole and complete. And their path, their journey is perfect for them. And if they are affecting you in any way, know in your heart that they are serving you. They are serving you in your human experience. You feel drained because you've taken it upon yourself that that person is less than you, that you have these incredible gifts that only you have and they somehow don't have, and it's your job to fix them. It's your job to heal them. It's your job to change them. I grew up with that belief in my home. We were always taught that the women in the house, it's their job to change the men into what they want them to be. I grew up with this belief. In South America, it's very common that the women change the men, especially when they get married. That's their job, to change them into better men. So imagine my surprise when that didn't work out in my first relationship. And I walk into my second relationship going, you know what? That didn't work. I'm not doing that. I'm just going to take you as you are with all your flaws. Somehow I knew when I was with my husband, the husband that I have now, I just knew it wasn't my job to change him. That's, that's a huge weight to put on your shoulders. That it's your job to change someone else. Who are you to change them? We don't have the information for their path, for their whole path. We don't have the full picture. Only they do when they get in touch with their soul. If, and only if, that is part of their path. Not all of us are here to awaken, my beautiful beings. Even if all you get out of these beautiful videos is that you can sit in peace in your garden and just love all of you just as you are, and be able to love your partner all as they are, not with them having to do anything or be anything or change in any way, that you can just accept them. This is who they are. Same with your children. They have their own path. They have their own experience they came to have. And no matter how much we try to protect them from feeling pain, it is part of the human experience. Pain, fear, all of that. For so long I did so much to protect my daughter from all of that. I didn't want her to feel an ounce of pain and not an inch of fear. I didn't want her to grow up like that, only to find that she was going to go through it anyway. And then I understood, hang on a minute, I went through all that when I was little. I went through all those tears. I felt all that pain. And it made me who I am today. I learned from those experiences. With my first relationship, with my first partner, I learned that I am good enough just as I am. Just as I am. And that it's not my job to change him. It was never my job to change him. I only had one task, and that was to love him completely. Same with my husband. To love him completely, to see him for who he is, not for who I want him to be, nor for who I need him to be, but for who he is. I don't need him to be anything but what he is. Same with my daughter. They just are. When you see others as spirit in human form, when you see the miracle that life is, you'll see how perfect it all is. All their flaws, all their imperfections, they're the things that you love the most about them. They're actually the things you miss the most when they're no longer with you, believe it or not. It's what you miss the most, all those little things that used to drive you absolutely nuts. That's what you miss the most. So, my beautiful beings, is it time to take that weight off your shoulders? To realize that it was never your job. That being that you are seeing less than because they don't have your beautiful gifts is the same. They're made of the same energy. All of it. It's all made of the same energy. They have the same capacity. They have the same gifts. They are also infinite possibilities. But we do not know what that soul came to experience. You may share your life with a partner for 30, 40, 50 years. You share your life with them. Because it's beautiful to share your experiences, to share your joy, to share your tears, to share all of it with another. The experience becomes so much richer when we share it with others. Just like a meal. You know when you eat something delicious and you can share it with someone else and you at the same time enjoying how wonderful it tastes? Life is like that. When you can have these experiences and share it with others and you go through moments together. It's so beautiful. You know, it makes it so much more for us. It's like it amplifies the energy. All right, my beautiful beings. So we hope this takes the weight off you today. You can breathe again. It's okay. I don't need to fix them. It's okay. I don't need to heal them. They can do that. The reason they haven't is because perhaps at this time it's not part of the soul's plan. And one of the things that gave me peace in the early days was to always say, God has them. If God has me, and I know he's got me, then God has them, because he's got all of us. He's holding all of us. He's supporting all of us in every moment. All right, my beautiful beings. We love you dearly. Remember to click like and subscribe so you don't miss any of the messages. And we'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.